Monday Night Raw is taking place tonight in San Antonio, Texas, and this is the third Raw of the year, January 15th edition. So, I don't know, I'm not expecting much from the show. I'm expecting this to be a go-home show to a go-home show, which is the go-home show to the Rumble. Next week's Raw, the biggest Raw, almost maybe ever, Raw 25th anniversary of Raw. That show's going to be really big. So many legends coming back next week. So here I was thinking in San Antonio, Shawn Michaels coming. I don't think so. I think he's going to make his, his appearance next week. I think him coming back would kind of ruin his kind of return next week and ruin nostalgia. But you never know in San Antonio. So show opens up. By the way, this is the same place of the Royal Rumble was last year. Remember the Rumble? Remember to boo Roman? Man, they hated Roman Reigns last year. Anyway, Strowman comes out. He's yelling about what he did last week. So Kurt comes out and he tells him he created an unsafe working environment. I hate that. That makes everyone look like pussies. Remember in Triple H, it's like 7 years ago, the whole roster walked on him when he was running Raw. They made the whole roster look like pussies. Anyway, I hate that. So they have Kurt Angle actually fire Braun Strowman. Security welcomes to the back, and then I'm thinking Braun's gonna destroy the security guards. It's gonna be cool. I really wish this would be their way of getting him out of the match at the Royal Rumble, and maybe he comes back and wins the Rumble and he faces Brock and wins the title at WrestleMania. But no, they have to get Big Dog over. So they're trying to walk Braun out, and Braun chokeslammed one of them through a table. He beats up the security guard, and he's gonna get revenge and probably go after Kurt or something. I think this is gonna lead to Triple H and Braun at WrestleMania. So Sheamus and Cesaro faced Titus and Apollo, and surprise, we had Titus and Apollo win. They were being managed by Dana Brooke, who was not showing any cleavage tonight, but unfortunately, since her boobs were popping out last week. Dana Brooke, she's been looking great. No thing, she hasn't been looking great. So after that, there was something with Seth Rollins. I don't know what he was saying. You had Braun Strowman go after Kurt Angle, and now he's in his office, completely destroys his office, destroys everything. He's looking for Kurt. He's going to kill Kurt. So I guess it's going to be Braun on the loose. Braun is like the Incredible Hulk. Okay, this is funny now. So when we come back, there's catering, people are eating, and then someone yells, Braun's coming, and then he comes, and he completely destroys everybody, chokeslams a random innocent guy through the table. I thought he was going to do more. I thought he was just going to kill everybody in catering. I think he chokeslammed Kurt Hawkins or Heath Slater, one of them. I think it was Hawkins, through the table. And then they did this funny thing where there's this guy standing with a huge plate of chocolate cake, and Braun just eats the cake and just walks out, just eats cake. It's Enzo's out, him and Choni Nese and Goldust and Cedric Alexander come out with a match now. So when we come back, Braun Strowman, they went match room to break. You have Braun Strowman in the back. He destroys everything. He is the Incredible Hulk, just destroying things. He looks at the, I think he's supposed to recite a dumpster into the wall, just destroys everything, destroying everything he sees. It's complete pandemonium. He's just destroying stuff. It's like watching Rock. You know what? I wish Raw could just be 2 hours of Braun Strowman destroying stuff. It's like he's the Incredible Hulk. So Cedric Alexander wins, and they go back to Kurt Angle's office, and they have this staff member yelling, Braun's in the production truck, and Kurt Angle just has the worst acting you'd ever seen. It's worth $12 million. He was fucking horrible as acting. So they show Braun Strowman in the production truck. He's destroying that now, and I think we saw a Kevin Dunn cameo. You have the whole staff; they all run out, and they're inside the production truck, which is cool. And I'm pretty sure that was Kevin Dunn. I saw Kevin Dunn. We saw him on camera finally. This asshole. No, we didn't get. If Braun Strowman would have destroyed Kevin Dunn, that would have been awesome. That would have made him the biggest babyface ever. And what happens is he's outside. He's gonna tip the thing like he did with Roman Reigns last year when he tipped the ambulance. And Kurt Angle's there. Braun, don't do it. Braun, I didn't call the police. Kurt called the police earlier. I called it off. No police. So Braun doesn't have to worry about being arrested now. So I guess he's not going to jail. And then Braun, he leaves, And then he comes back, he tips it over anyways, and then I'm sorry, Kurt didn't say that yet. That would happen in a few moments. Braun tips over he disengages the tractor from the production truck, and he tips over the tractor, he tips it over, and then he goes out to the stage, out to the ring, and they're all going nuts. He goes after the announcer's booth. He goes after Michael Cole. Booker T and Corey Graves run away like little cowards, even though they're wrestlers. Kurt says Stephanie's rehired him, so I think that confirms it's Triple H and Braun, and he's back in the match. He just throws Michael Cole off the stage onto security guards, and it looked horrible. They caught him, and they all went down. They caught him too safely. They should have, once they caught him, they should all went down a lot quicker. It didn't look good. And then Kurt says Braun's back in the match, and Braun poses. I mean, he's a babyface. He should be winning the Rumble and beating Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania the way they book him. So Tom Phillips is on commentary now. So up next, we have a match. We have Nia Jax and Asuka. I didn't like how that match ended. Asuka wins, but she wins by injuring Nia Jax's knee. And the way I saw something myself, is Nia Jax going to win the Rumble? I think that's definitely a possibility. I don't want it to happen. I think they can play it up that she's already big, and now the knee injury is going to make it harder to eliminate her because she can't walk on it. I'm afraid she's going to win the Rumble, and I don't know. I didn't like how they protected her there. Bosco won. They had Alexa Bliss come out to check on Nia with her injured knee. I thought they'd announce Asuka and Alexa for next week on Raw, but it looks like that's not happening. They help Nia to the back, and then they go to Jason Jordan in the back with Kurt Angle, and he's just fucking horrible. He tells Kurt Seth Rollins should have a singles match, and he faces Finn Balor. What? I don't care. I don't care to see that. But, well, it's fine. So then you have the three announcers talking with Tom Phillips in the middle, and they're talking about Michael's injured, and they go to a Martin Luther King video. So during the video, it's a long tribute, and I think to myself, WWE is such a racist company, and everyone knows it. And I'm not talking about recently, I'm talking about all the stuff they used to do in the 90s. I remember Slick sticking his hand in like fried chicken, and they're such a racist company, whatever. They go backstage and they show Nia Jax in the back icing her knee, and she's consoled by Alexa Bliss, and then Enzo Amore comes out. And, and they tease sexual tension between Enzo and Nia, and Alexa leaves, Nia chose Enzo over her. I don't know what the direction is here. I don't really care. So we go in the ring, we see the Revival. These guys are just complete afterthoughts. They're doing nothing now. So after the Revival destroys this team, you have Charlie Caruso wearing this great smoking hot skin-tight black dress, and she interviews them, and she's asking, they're telling her, they're telling her off, and then she asks them, who they're looking forward to seeing next week on Raw. And she says the New Age Outlaw, Shawn Michaels, and Stone Cold Steve Austin. They rip everyone. They say those guys are sports entertainers. They rip DX. I'm assuming they're going to get destroyed by DX on Raw next week. I wonder how that's going to happen. You have Triple H and Shawn running across the ring trying to pretend he's out of breath. And Billy Gunn juiced up on steroids. And Road Dogg coming right out of his desk in the damn creative staff meeting. And X-Pac probably is lost in space. And then beat the shit out of the Revival. Do the crotch chop. Sadly, China won't be there. But anyway, it was a good promo. It was kind of, in ways, almost going to turn into almost giving me these vibes of CM Punk pipe bomb. But yeah, I don't see it ending well for them next week. Almost forgot to mention this about the woman. Paige is done. Paige, she hasn't officially announced her retirement, but according to PW Insider, she's done. She took a few weeks ago on Raw, Sasha Banks kicked her in the back on the host show. It didn't look too bad. I didn't think some people are too hard on Sasha, but she probably feels terrible about it. Anyway, she didn't mean it. Paige is done. That's what, according to them. I'm not going to comment too much on it. I think there's a possibility. I want to wait till Paige addresses it and stuff before I really comment on it. But PW Insider reported it, so I thought I have to at least mention that it looks like her career could be over. So in the 25 years of Raw countdown, they show Daniel Bryan to Occupy Raw from 4 years ago, March of 2014. That's been 4 years almost already. That's crazy. And the whole WrestleMania 30, that was a great segment. I remember when he first started bringing people in the ring. Oh my god, this looks so bad. There was like 10 people, and they're all geeks, and then the whole thing was. But then once the commercial came back, the whole ring area was covered, filled with fans. That was a great moment. So when Elias is doing his song, this is the San Antonio Spurs, gets a whole bunch of heat. Fans get really pissed off. Just insult the sports team. It's such cheap heat. So Elias introduces the Miz Taraj in the song. So they aired this commercial for the Mixed Match Challenge, which starts tomorrow. It's Finn Balor and Sasha Banks against Natalya and Shinsuke Nakamura. They're really hyping that. Reigns comes out. It's him against Axel and Dallas in a handicap match now. Surprise, Roman wins with a spear. Sasha Banks is out for a match, and thank God Braun Strowman destroyed Michael Cole so we don't have to hear it's boss time. Thank you, Braun. I'm starting to like Sasha a lot more again. So, Absolution's out, so it looks like Absolution's a dead stable now. I think it's going to be Sasha Banks and Sonya Deville since she beat Mandy Rose last week. And she ended Paige's career, so it looks like Sasha Banks took Absolution by herself. Also worth noting, I think Paige is done. They took her out of the Royal Rumble graphic. She's not on that graphic anymore. Wow, Sonya Deville gets a clean win over Sasha. I was not expecting that. Maybe they're pissed off at her for the Paige injury, but that was definitely a surprise because she's doing the Mixed Match Challenge. So I think they might want to give Sonya Deville a push, but Mandy Rose is going to be the star. But just to give her something, the thing with Sonya Deville that's going to kill her is, if you watch NXT, they really have Shayna Baszler, who is a former MMA fighter. She's going to completely overshadow Deville if she ever gets on the main roster. That'll be the end of Sonya Deville. Because Shayna is... Yeah, looks like a complete badass. I don't know if she was ever a great fighter, but Sonya Deville really wasn't much of a fighter. She had an amateur fighter. I think Baszler would completely destroy Deville. Well, can Matt Hardy's out with that piano theme? I don't like it. It's the Rebby Hardy. It's not the Rebby Hardy version. Don't care for it, to be honest. Now he's wrestling Heath Slater. So it was Kurt Hawkins who got chokeslammed by Braun. I always get him confused with Heath Slater because they're both losers, but it's Woken Matt against Heath Slater. So after Woken Matt wins, we go to our first inductee of the 2018 WWE Hall of Fame, and it is Goldberg. Goldberg is the first Hall of Fame inductee. I don't think he's having a match, but he's going in the Hall of Fame. Finn Balor and Seth Rollins in the main event. Isn't it crazy? Year and a half ago at SummerSlam last year, they had a great match for the first ever Universal title. Year and a half later, remaining inventing Raw, and a match that absolutely no one in the crowd can give two shits about. That's a fall from grace. So the bar came out during the main event. It's a no reaction. Hopefully Sheamus retires so we don't have to see this fucking guy, the one of the most overrated guys in the history of the company. Not in terms of anything thinking he was good, just the way he was pushed. Thank God, good riddance to him. Anyway, they're interfering, and then Balor does his dive. I'm surprised Seth didn't have to do his dive. He usually does about 3 dives. And then match ends with Jason Jordan tripping Finn Balor, and then Rollins hits the curb stomp. I don't know what they call it now. I think the blackout, but the curb stomp, and he pins Finn Balor, so Rollins gets the win. And that's it. In 1 week, it's the biggest Raw of all time. The 25th anniversary of Raw next week.